Content Media Analysis of Syrian Refugees in Europe. Sydney Thames, HEA 471, Dr. Morrison. Located in the Middle East along the eastern shore of the Mediterranean Sea, Syria is located between Turkey, Lebanon, Iraq, Jordan, and Israel. For the past 4.5 years, there has been a violent civil war raging in Syria. This has resulted in the displacement of more than 4.5 million people, forcing them to an area of refuge out of their home country. 10% of Syrian refugees have been sent to refugee camps in Europe. These countries have included Greece and Jordan. There have been many images, articles, and videos of Syrian refugees shown in the media. In order to analyze how these refugees are depicted and portrayed in the media, I decided to conduct a content analysis. I decided to answer this popular research question. How does popular media shape our thinking and understanding of the current refugee crisis in Europe and of the health issues experienced by these Syrian refugees? My hypothesis states that images of Syrian refugees in the media will portray qualities associated with a depressed mental state. The popular media outlet that I chose to use is Voice of America, which is an official broadcast institution of the United States government. The 3 articles I used for this analysis are listed below. After reading through the articles, I used a systematic approach of coding to find and identify similar things between the articles. I used a tally mark system, and findings of fear were indicated in black, while findings of hope were indicated in red. Listed below are my findings of fear. In Article 1, I tallied 4, in Article 2, I tallied 2, and in Article 3, I tallied 2 also. An example of fear found in Article 1 reads, "Those who can't sleep look back with vacant stares, with fear or sadness." I also reported my findings of hope, which are indicated in red. In Article 1, I tallied 3, in Article 2, I tallied 6, and in Article 3, I tallied 4. An example of hope stated in Article 3 is, "I dream of the day that all this bloodshed will stop and we will go back to our homeland and be able to protect our children." I also analyzed the images shown in the articles. Because images are some of the first things that stick out in our mind in the media, I thought these were important. Shown above are images of Syrian refugees in the refugee camps and a child refugee at the top. From analyzing these articles, I saw that there was a great theme of fear, yet a positive outlook for the future as well. Because fear was such a huge theme, I can only imagine that mental health is a prominent issue among the refugee camps. Because these camps are so under-resourced with low living standard conditions for these Syrian refugees, I imagine that there is little aid that contributes to the well-being of these refugees' mental health. This can have negative long-term effects, which is something to consider. I also think it's important to note that although there is a theme of hope in the articles among the refugees, there are no images that depict this hope for the refugees. This could lead to a misconception of the refugees in the camps. The statements of fear by the refugees in the articles, along with the images shown of the refugees in deplorable conditions, support my hypothesis that a depressed mental state is shown in the media. Thank you for your time, and I hope you found this content analysis of Syrian refugees in Europe helpful.